Some breaking news this evening regarding the Trump administration's efforts to deport what it says are anti-Semitic, anti-American college students. Mohsen Mahdawi, a student protester who was arrested by ICE in Vermont on Wednesday, allegedly participated in protests that were anti-Israel and, according to government officials today, called for Israel's destruction as part of a years-long pattern of anti-Jewish and anti-American activities on college campuses and through related anti-Israel activism. That's according to the United States government. A senior State Department spokesperson says that Mahdawi played an active role in those fall 2024 student protests at Columbia, which featured a lot of anti-Semitic imagery, including swastikas, anti-Semitic slogans, anti-Semitic tropes, as well as violence and intimidation against Jewish students and faculty members. Mahdawi, during those protests, allegedly called for Israel's destruction and also engaged in other anti-Semitic and anti-Israel conduct. Mahdawi, at that time, was co-president of the organization Columbia Students for Justice in Palestine. Now, SPJ has been banned from a number of campuses in America. It has been deemed by major Jewish organizations an anti-Semitic group. It does not believe in Israel's right to exist or Jewish self-determination in the land of Israel. In other words, it wants Israel to be dismantled and for Palestinians to take over the land that is now Israel. He is protesting his slated deportation along with his legal team. He was born and raised in a refugee camp in the West Bank, which is also known to some Jews as Judea and Samaria. He's held a green card in the U.S. for the past 10 years, according to one of his legal filings. Now, a U.S. district judge hearing Mahdawi's deportation case has issued a temporary restraining order blocking the Trump administration from deporting him. So he's still being held in ICE detention, according to online records. Now, Mahdawi was at an immigration office in White Junction, Vermont, handling part of his required citizenship process when ICE agents arrested him. Now, the Columbia Jewish Alumni Association said in a statement on Monday that Mahdawi, quote, spent 6 years at Birzeit University, then another 10-ish, Lehigh and Columbia, end quote. Their statement continued, that's 16 years as a full-time undergraduate, and he wasn't done. He was planning to enroll at Columbia School of International and Public Affairs. Assuming he started at 18, he's now pushing 35. By the time he wrapped up grad school, he'd be 37. That's almost 2 decades in very expensive colleges. This isn't a great education plan, but it's an excellent green card strategy if you can afford it. Several national figures in the Democratic Party are condemning his slated deportation, including Senator Bernie Sanders. Other politicians are lauding the move, saying that Mahdawi clearly engaged in anti-Semitic and anti-American behavior, and in doing so, broke the immigration laws that he was required to comply with to remain in the country with his green card. Now, Mahdawi is the latest high-profile student activist and anti-Israel protester, and what the government says are anti-Semitic and anti-American activists, to be arrested by ICE and slated for deportation. The most prominent of those to date has been Mahmoud Khalil, another former Columbia student who engaged in anti-Semitic, anti-Israel protests, and according to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, conducted himself in a way that was supportive of Hamas, the designated terror organization, and was engaged in activities that were at odds with U.S. national security interests, thus qualifying him for deportation under federal immigration laws. And last week, an immigration judge agreed with the administration that Mahmoud Khalil was deportable. I'm going to be following the Mahdawi immigration proceedings. I'll have more for you on this story soon.